They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned.
That is such an unbelievably important point right there. When you're a player and you can sense, you can feel that the developers are on your side. They want to make the most fun, coolest thing possible for you. You forgive them if they make a mistake or two, or if sometimes they fall short. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of games in the 1990s and the early 2000s felt. Whereas now, a lot of what we get today is you play a game and it's like, the developers, it's like they know what you want, but they're like, yeah, well, we're not going to give that to you because if we do this, we might make a bit more money. Well, if they do that, then when it turns out to not be as fun, and then they pull some other bullshit, you get pissed off at them. There's a thing where people say, oh, you know, you're just looking back at rose-tinted glasses. There were always bad games and mid games back then, you just remember the good ones. True, but you're missing a really important piece of that puzzle, which is that back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, there was not this weird trend that is all pervasive in the video game industry today, or like very pervasive, where it seems like devs hate their audiences and at the same time are trying the most obvious, shameless practices to try and squeeze as much money from them as possible. Those two things at once. Like, yes, have there always been, whatever, you know, games designed to eat your quarters or whatever, so on and so forth. This is not the same thing, man. This game reminds a lot of players of how the video game landscape used to feel, how the culture used to feel. And I think that's why it is so effective and why it's like hit so many players all over the world. It's the best of the old and the best of the new and none of the bullshit of either.